Hello, welcome back to the studio. If you're new, my name's Emma, I'm an illustrator based in Sheffield and these are my daily-ish vlogs. I've been away from filming for a little while. I'm not going to get into that here. If you want to know why, I've written a free post about it over on my Patreon. You don't have to, but if you are interested, that's why I've not been filming for a little while. I've just been getting my head in order, having a bit of me time without feeling like I needed to film. It's been nice. I'm back. And also I've got some boxes to open. I've got one here and one here. I've had a little peek in them. I know what's in them, but you don't, so we'll open those in a minute. But before then, let me cut to some footage that I took a few days ago with some exciting news. That's right everyone, I have an allotment. Not technically my own, I'm helping somebody else. Long-time viewers of the channel might remember that last year someone my friend knows was looking for help on their allotment. I put my name in, but by the time I did, they'd found somebody else. Well, that somebody else is now no longer helping my friend's friend. So I'm in. So I have an allotment space that I can use to grow food, and it's just a lovely, lovely place to be. So that's my allotment. I am absolutely thrilled to bits with it. It's a lovely place and it's massive as well. So there's fruit trees all at the side and there's beds in the middle. It's an organic plot. It's a no-dig plot, which I'm very big into at the moment. I'm still going to be growing food in my home garden as well. And I did set up a separate channel to film allotment and gardening stuff. So I haven't really got my head around the filming for that. I've filmed loads of stuff, but I just haven't edited that into a video for a while because it's like quite busy in the garden now. So that will be coming up soon. If you are interested only in the garden stuff or more in the garden stuff or equally, I suppose, in the garden stuff, go along and follow me. I'll pop the details in the video description. If you're interested in gardening videos as well, get yourself to my gardening YouTube channel. So let's get on to these boxes. This one, you might be able to tell from the tape. Haha, you can't tell from the tape. It's from an art shop. It's called Jackson's. I'm not sponsored. It's just where I get my stuff from. I ran out of sketchbooks, and if you watched that video that I had filmed a little while ago, don't know where it's gone, I was onto my last sketchbook and it was black pages and I just could not get on with it. So I bought some in-betweeny sketchbooks to see me through because the shop that I normally use to order my sketchbooks was completely out the ones that I use. So I use like A5 sketchbooks for observational sketching. So these are the ones I take out with me in my bag. I take them in here. I've got a bit more materials than I usually have at the moment. But so here's the black one. The black pages. I just felt like I wasn't getting the best out of it because it made everything look like it was in a negative and it felt like it could be interesting but not for what I use my observational sketches for. So yeah, these are the ones I use for going out and about and sketching in real life, mostly. That or A4. I do have an A4 one in there as well, which I'm trying kind of experimenting felt tip pens with because I've got loads. Not that I've bought, they've been donated from my sister who's also an artist, so thank you Deborah. I'll also link her video in the description down below, so if you want to go and check her out, go and have a look. But the other day, the amazing thing happened. I got a notification saying that my sketchbooks were back in stock. So let's take a look. mind, I'm not sponsored. But I have future-proofed myself. And instead of just buying one or two like I normally do, I bought a bunch. So I've actually bought 40 of these ones. And if you're interested in what I use, again, not sponsored, these are the Jackson Studio sketchbooks, and they're quite cheap. The unit price on these is quite cheap. So yeah, these are the books that I get. They're 20 pages, 40 sides. The paper weight is 140 GSM. Paper size is 148 by 210, which is A5. So when I say 20 pages or 40 sides, I mean that. I mean, like, there's 20 leaves, but each, obviously, you can draw on both sides. That's 40 altogether. One thing I found is sometimes these books don't open nicely. This one does, actually, but sometimes there's a crease on the front side. Oh, that opens good backwards and forwards. So yeah, when it opens with a big old crease and it doesn't open nicely on the front side, I normally just flip it over and use the back, but they're both nice on this one. Lovely. As with all my orders, I'm going to count these. I don't really like the shrink wrapped. I'm going to leave feedback and ask them not to use the shrink wrap next time, because if you don't know, I'm trying to be as plastic free as possible in my private life and my shop life. So that would really help if they didn't do that. That's 40 of those. I thought I'd get a bunch, just like I said, to future-proof myself, because I do use these A5 ones a hell of a lot. And I've got a little cupboard that I use for my sketchbooks. Also, to future-proof myself, I got a bunch of the A4 ones, because I do use these sparingly, less than the A5 ones, but still, I do use them a little bit. I also use these A4 guys when I've got children's book ideas or project ideas. If it's a project that I know is going to be big, like a children's book, I will use one of these per project, and then whenever I've got an idea, I'll either write down what's the idea that pops into my head, or I'll scribble it down before I forget. I'll draw it before I forget, either in thumbnails or in kind of neat, whatever I want to, and then it becomes a little project book, which works quite well for me. I think I've got 10 of these. Again, these are the studio sketchbooks. 10 of those. And finally, I've got some big ones. These are A3. I like to use these for desk work, for studio work. These are, again, the studio sketchbooks. Not sponsored. And I like to use these when I'm either drawing for the sake of it in my studio. So sometimes I draw the ornaments and stuff that I've got, just a bit of sketchbook practice. When I like to get big and messy and want to get the big paints out and do chunky work, these are quite good for that, because they're A3 but they open up into A2. Again, they're 20 pages and 40 sides, just like the other two, and the same paper weight and stuff like that. These are also good when I'm doing my live drawing sessions. If you don't know, over on Patreon, I run a drawing club, which is available to all £1 tiers and above, which is all of my paid tiers. And with that drawing club, we meet every month, at least once a month over on Zoom. You can either watch live or you can watch the recording, and we'll practice drawing images. I'll make a slideshow full of images, and we'll practice drawing those against the clock. These sketchbooks are really good for that, because it's loads of space. I can go as big as I want, well, as long as it's within the A2 parameters, and it's a place just to be messy and have a bit of fun, and there's the space there to go chunky if I want to, which is a really nice way to work when I'm in my studio. I really like it. So let's have a look at these. So yeah, these are just the same, 20 pages, 40 sides, and the type of paper is like a cartridge type paper. There's a very slight grain on it. It's mostly smooth, but it's not dead smooth, so that it's not like very grainy, but if you're using pencil you can get a really nice texture on there, so I really like them. But again, not sponsored. And I think there's 5 of these. Yeah, five of those. This is the cupboard that I put my sketchbooks in. It's slightly messy. It's got out of control. Some of them are used. These are the A3 ones. I put the used ones in there as well as the unused ones because they're just so big, there's nowhere to put them. The used ones of my A5 ones go in there, but I'm running out of space, so I'm going to have to figure out somewhere to put those. This is where I'm going to put all my new sketchbooks, and I'm probably going to have a little sort out and work out which ones of these have been used and mark those up so I know the difference. Done, sorted. So I've got new A4, partially used A4, new A5, partially used other size, new A3, physical portfolio-ish kind of work, and used A3, and there's art materials. I've also managed to clean out my drawers. Amazing. Notebooks, wires and stuff. How long it will stay like that is yet to be seen, but at least I've made a start and set my intention. I bought a thing. Again, not sponsored. These videos are just what I do through my day. And this is something that arrived recently with that big package. This one. Some of you may be able to guess what this is. Patrons will know because I've already told you. This came with that order. This is a little daylight lamp. Now, I've been looking at daylight lamps for a little while. This one is the most affordable one I've been able to find. Usually they're £100 or plus. This was about 20 something, under £30. And what I like about it is it's portable. So you charge it up and you could take it with you. I could take this in the van when I do van holidays, or I could just move it around the house. It's got 3 settings. And daylight bulbs basically give you a neutral light as far as I'm aware. So rather than shining, you'll know with your household bulbs, some of them are cool and some of them are warm. So some of them will shine and make things look a bit bluer. Some of them will make them look a bit orangier. And it doesn't really matter too much, but a daylight bulb is quite nice to work with if you want neutral colours. So I quite like it. I like working at the desk. You will know, if you've watched for a while, that this studio, the lighting is I've really struggled with it. And while this isn't a perfect solution because it doesn't make everything brilliantly bright and white, when I'm working at the desk, it's just going to give me a bit of extra help, which will also help my eyes. Actually, looking at my sketchbooks reminds me that I need to do a sketchbook tour. Again, I feel like I'm doing this every day that I film. But obviously I'm not. Mind you, I haven't filmed that much this month. That's probably why it feels like I've only just done a sketchbook tour. But I need to do a sketchbook tour for my patrons. It's June now. And every month, all of my patrons, so £1 and above, they not only get the live drawing session, so the Scribbles Aloud Drawing Club membership that I mentioned earlier, they also get sketchbook tours. So, as it's June, I do a little video flick through of my sketchbook from the previous month, so it will be May. So I'm going to find all of my May sketchbooks. That's it. Is it? Oh. I've got my explorations with felt pen in there as well, which I do quite like. So I'm going to film all of those. I can even use my light with that as well. Give a bit more light to the whole proceedings. So yeah, last month I had this sketchbook, which is partial of this sketchbook. So I had this amount in this sketchbook. Actually, what I might do is tape, if I've got some, tape the pages that I need to film. Where's everything gone? Ooh. So I'll tape closed April's so I don't film that. I had all of this in a normal sketchbook, and then I started a little bit in this black page sketchbook, so there's a few pages in that as well, but I did not carry that on. Any suggestions for working in black page sketchbooks? Let me know. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Let me know in the comments, because I feel like there's loads of potential in a black page sketchbook, but I feel like I wasn't giving it what it needed. So I'm just taping these pages so I know where to film to. It doesn't seem to be wanting to stick on some of the pages, right? That's fine. And then I've got this one up until there. And I've also got Explorations in Felt, which was May. So I'm going to get on and film that now very quickly, and you'll see me on the other side once that's uploaded onto my Patreon. If you are interested in Patreon, there is no obligation at all, but if you are interested in checking out my Patreon, it's patreon.com/Emma Woodthorpe, that's me. I do have a bunch of free stuff on there, so if you go on there and have a look at the collections tab, all of the thumbnails that are in green are free to access, either with or without signing up as a free member. So some things are free to the public. Some things, like my desk notes, I treat as a newsletter, which is free, but you need to be on a free membership to get involved in that. No obligation. I've got a competitions and opportunities folder, which is free. You don't need to sign up on a free membership for that. Whenever I hear about a competition or an opportunity or something you might be interested in, like a Zoom with an Illustrator or something like that, I pop that up on there. That's free without a free membership, but if you don't want to miss out on any of those competitions and opportunities, if you get signed up on a free membership, you'll get a notification when anything like that goes up. So that's just an option for you. And be aware that that's not an exhaustive list. So yeah, everything with the green thumbnail is free to access without any payment, but you might need to be a paid member if you want the desk notes. But it'll tell you in there, if you have a look inside the folder, it will tell you whether you need to upgrade to a free membership to access it or whatever. So if it's green, it's free. If it's a yellow thumbnail, it's free for, it's not free. If it's a yellow thumbnail, it's available for all of my paid tiers, and my tiers start at £1. Be aware that depending on the platform that you sign up for, so for example, if you sign up on the desktop Patreon page, which is when you use the Safari, if you use like a web browser to sign up, that might be a different admin fee to, for example, Apple iOS in the App Store, because they choose their own admin fees, and that's just the payment processing that goes to them. So it's £1 for your membership, which goes to me. Anything on top of that will depend on your admin fee for the platform that you use to pay. That goes to them. And as far as I'm aware, but do your research, as far as I'm aware, it's cheaper if you go through the desktop site. So if you go to patreon.com/Emma Woodthorpe and sign up there, if you want to. So everything with a yellow thumbnail is available to all patrons, whether you're on a £1 tier or above. And then anything that's on an orange, a dark orange thumbnail, is for my £5 and above, which is the VIP, which means very interested in publishing. And that's only available on that tier, and that's an as and when tier. That's not updated every month, but when I learn something new about the industry, because this is my introduction into the publishing world, I put some stuff up on there as well, as and when I get it. So some months you might not get some stuff, other months you might get a couple of bits. There might be months and months where you don't get anything. So what you might want to do is dip into that tier to get any information that you want, and then dip back out onto a lower tier or a free tier. Also remember that Patreon is not something that you're tied into for like a year. You can dip into it month by month. So if you just want to stay for 1 month, just make sure you cancel before the next month's payment gets taken out, and you can revert back to being on a free tier or a no free tier. You can just leave altogether, or you can keep your membership ticking over for all of that. All that goodness. I have tried to put as much value as possible into the £1 tier and above, so you get the access to the live Zoom, get access to the recording, not just that, you get access to recordings going back to the beginning of time, whenever we started them. So it's loads of value if you jump in and you want to go through a few of the drawing Zooms that we do, which is a load of drawing practice. You also get access to monthly illustrated downloads that I do. So I do illustrated calendars, which are printable, both printable and for your desktop. You get a phone background, tablet background, and also now I do printable note sheets, which you can use to keep yourself organised. So there's that as well. You get access to those, and also from previous months. So you can have a look through the previous months, and even though the calendars for that month won't be usable, the note sheets and the phone backgrounds will be. What else do you get? Oh, you get your Sketchbook tour as well. Talking about that, I probably need to go and film this, so I'll see you on the other side. I say this all the time, but I mean it all the time. I really love doing sketchbook tours. Even if you don't have a Patreon or a reason to record your sketchbooks or document them, can I suggest that at the end of every month or the start of a new one, you'd look back at what you've done observationally the previous month, because it's like a journal. If you go out to sketch a lot, even if you don't, if you're drawing from films and things like that, it's like a little journal of what you've done that month. And I think for me anyway, pictures, what's the word? Generate more memories. Pictures are better than words for helping me to remember stuff. So looking back at all of these observational sketchbooks, it's making me remember all those times that I went out of the house and made the effort, or just very quickly scribbled something down, even if it wasn't successful. And it really makes my life feel a bit longer and bigger, because I'd forgotten about all of those things. I'd filed them away because, you know, I've done them, finished, that's it. But taking a bit of time to remember and like mull over the things that you've done. I don't know, it feels nice, and it feels like my life feels a bit bigger because of it. It feels a bit longer rather than just whizzing by in the blink of an eye. So can I suggest you do that? Very good for the soul. So these are all the sketchbooks that I managed to fill, actually. Not all of them are 100% full. This is partial, this is partial, and this is partial. This is partial. Also, I got a few things done in my big sketchbook. There was one meeting that I did on Zoom with the AOI and Fran Menezes and Andy Miller. You might know them as Fran Nerd and Andy J Pizza. And I drew during that Zoom, and I'm really pleased with how these guys turned out. My first sketches didn't really turn out amazing, but as anyone who's watched me for a considerable length of time will know, I like to think of my sketches as pancakes. So just like when you're making pancakes, your first few pancakes aren't necessarily good. But that's important. It's important to get through those bad pancakes because it helps you understand what needs to be done. Does your pan need to be hotter? Does your mixture need to be looser? And it just gets your eye in with maybe the flipping of the pancakes. So these are my first few pancakes. And I think you'll agree that the more I went through the day, the more I kind of knew what was working and knew what wasn't. Again, some things I'm not too happy with, but then I'm really happy with these ones. Really happy with them. Do they look 100%? No, but do they have their essence? Yes, I think so. And I'm really pleased with those. So there's a little sneak peek into some of the things that I've been sharing in my sketchbook tour. If you want to see the rest of them, you know what to do. All right, the next thing on my list today is probably to do a bit of photographing of new products for my website. It's going to be a lot of long admin. I kind of need this device that I'm using as well. So before I call that a day, I'm going to show you what's in my very last package. Okay, so this guy will help with the picture that I bought in the last video. I haven't actually checked to see if this is okay. Mount board. So I will use this to help mount pictures into frames. And it just comes as a big sheet, like that. And I do have a bunch of mounting tools that I use. So I've got like a special ruler which allows me to cut at a 45-degree angle for the aperture. That's where the picture will be shown, and it makes a nice little viewing hole for the picture. So I've got all of the equipment. I just very much need to clean some frames and get on with framing some of the pictures, and that's very exciting because I want to start putting them up on my stairway. Because I've got loads of pictures, loads of art, a bunch of stuff from a gallery sale where they were selling off original art. It was called the Under the Bed sale, so it was original art from artists, like slight seconds that they might have wanted to sell 50% off. So I've got a bunch of stuff from that which I want to get framed and put up on the wall. So now I can do that. I'm going to store that very safely back in this box because I don't want the corners to get dog-eared. But yeah, that's going to be for another video. That is another video. I don't have the puff left in me today. So, Right, now all of the boxes have been opened. I think this is a good place to end the video. Thanks so much for joining me. It's good to be back. Keep watching the channel for more studio vlogs, for more adventures, maybe some framing, maybe some sketching. I don't know, we'll see. Keep watching and find out. If you do want to keep watching to find out, why not subscribe to the channel, because then you'll get a notification. If you click the notification bell, you should get a notification whenever new videos get posted up, and hopefully that'll be 3 times a week. My posting schedule that I'm aiming for is Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. If ever I miss one of the days, it won't be on the next day, it'll be on the next posting scheduled day. So if I miss a Monday, it won't be on Tuesday, my next video should be on Wednesday. If it's not on Wednesday, it should be on Friday. So just so you know. Right, I'm going to leave this video here. Thanks so much for joining me, and until the next one, bye.